Welcome to Close the Door and Come Here, a Song of Ice and Fire podcast with heavy leanings towards our two favorite characters, Jamie and Brienne. Hi, I'm Clotho, and you can find me at Clotho Spindle on Blue Sky Social. Today I'm joined with Chicky.
Hey, I am Chicky, and I am Chicky on Blue Sky.
And Kama.
Hi, I'm Kama, and you can find me at Kama's Place on Blue Sky.
And this is our preview episode where we're going to be discussing A Knight of the Seven Kingdoms TV show.
Honestly, like one of the most exciting episodes that we've had in a very long time.
Yes!
I'm so excited.
I know, it's weird to say a TV show, after all the...
I know, who thought we'd be here again? We never thought we'd be podcasting about a TV show, but here we are.
Yeah, all the usual potential trigger warnings for any rape or violence.
And spoilers, because if anyone is new here, we are going to spoil everything about the Dunk and Egg novellas because we read them so long ago we couldn't possibly remember what we should and shouldn't say. So,
okay, so just I guess a little quick background. It premieres on January 18th, and 2026,
which would be next week from when this episode is premiering.
Yeah, because we're recording the December 7th, so we're a little ahead of time. So this is in the future, and it's going to have 6 30-minute long episodes, and that's like a little different from the norm. The hour-long format.
Mm-hmm. I think it's good that they're 30-minute episodes.
Yeah, it's weird because a lot of people on Reddit were grumbling about that. I was like, this seems perfect to me. Yeah,
this is perfect because there's not enough content to do the novella in like an hour.
Yeah.
And it's
that's fine.
I think it's lighter. It's not as it's hopefully not as grim. I mean, we're saying that, but I'm saying that now, but I don't know. But like I think think of like it's obviously not a sitcom, but half hours are for things like this. This is fine. This is good.
I think they must be planning to put it in the comedy.
I think so. I think so because I watched some of the interviews and read some like Ira Parker, who's the co-creator with George R.R. Martin. He also writes for House of Dragon, but he mentioned that it's like they like leaned into that more, and that just because of the nature of the story, that it's going to be more about that. So I think I can see that.
That's great, and that makes sense because they're. I mean, I should say, Game of Thrones did achieve some actual pretty funny comedy from time to time. But in many ways, they didn't even pay full tribute to as funny as some of George's stuff is. And George actually has some of it's darkly funny, but some of it isn't even darkly funny. He actually is pretty funny from time to time.
Yeah, definitely.
And that's another like totally weird thing. Again, like dipping into Reddit, like because I literally until this weekend I was looking into all this stuff and researching this. I wasn't aware of this. People were grumbling about not just the length of the thing, but they were grumbling about that it better not be lighthearted. Like, what? Have you read the novellas? I was like, what are people talking about?
The answer is no. And the other answer is people have a fundamental misunderstanding of how like narrative structure works and the amount of content you can get out in a certain period of time. I mean, remember back to Game of Thrones and people were like, oh, they're going to do this and this and this. I'm like, most of these scenes are like 2 minutes long. I don't know how they're going,
Because they talked about how they wanted to focus on, there was a roundtable at the New York Comic Con in October, and he specifically said they wanted to focus on random conversations, idiosyncratic kind of like characteristics of each character. So like, more like a personality-based, a character-based show than like, because they don't have a big grand story. Yeah, like it's not a big grand story. They're not weighed down by like, and they're also not weighed down. They mentioned that like their budget's I think half the budget.
Oh yeah, I would assume
of what House of Dragon. I think they said it was like 10 million an episode versus 20 million for House of Dragon. So in ways that freed them up to really like get in there and make it simple. So it sounds good.
If they're less, they're not, I'm assuming they're actual dragons on House of Dragons. I've never watched, I could be wrong.
That's probably where a lot of that money's going towards.
But I mean, if you don't have to do that, if you can have, I'm assuming some practical effects with the fighting and whatnot, I mean, it's probably cheaper than having to CGI, whatever. So.
I mean, I'm sure they're CGIing things. They seem to CGI. It seems like
right, but you know what I mean. It's not like it's not massive battles. It's a smaller story. It's more micro than macro. It's probably
hopefully it's just details, and it's not like you're talking about like with House of the Dragon, where I assume they have a ton of CGI dragons and stuff. Like you shouldn't have,
This is where someone writes in and goes, "There are no dragons on House of the Dragons. What are you talking about?"
There have to be, but I mean, there were dragons at that point. I know enough about.
We're just getting a puppet dragon. We're just getting a puppet. But I mean, they're using a lot of the same crew. They're using some of the same like locations, like from some of the old. They said that the crew is from like the Battle of the Bastards. I think the one they were particularly working with. So that was kind of cool. And they're just they said they literally they were not planning it around weather. They just went with it, whatever weather they got that day. So it sounds really cool. Yeah. Like I'm actually really excited after hearing about this.
Love it. Because we shot this in Northern Ireland, right?
Yes. I think so. Yes. Yeah. Yep.
Great. Yeah. I love all of that. And like the grittier and everything, the better. And like the talk, I did see that they were talking about how they were really focusing on the character moments. And I was like, in so many ways, that's just so much more faithful to what George is doing. I mean, I think people really think of Game of Thrones and they think, oh, the intricate plot and, what's going to happen in the plot. And it's like, in reality, when you read the books, it's the characters that drag you through it. The characters make you care about everything. And George's character work is phenomenal. It's really the thing that makes his work shine. And he is really, really at the top of his game with Dunk and Egg because they're novellas. He doesn't have as much time to work in. And so he's just really firing on all cylinders. And so I can only imagine that should mean good things for the series. Yeah. If they're really,
because he co-wrote the first episode, and like I kind of singled out, like there was an interview with him and he said, this is a quote from him, "I love The Hedge Knight when I finished it." He's talking about the books. I said, "This is one of the best things I've ever done." And I still feel that way. I still feel these stories are some of the best I've ever done. And Ira Parker and his amazing team have done an amazing job of adapting them. And what you see is going to be very similar to what I wrote. So that's direct from the horse's mouth.
Wow.
And
well, that's encouraging.
Right. It's
Let's hope that stays. But
I mean, he complained about House of the Dragon, so we know right off the bat that he was already,
he always loves his showrunners at the beginning. It's always a romance at the beginning, and then at some point they all fall out.
So I guess that'll be the thing. Do we get a good first season, and then it goes downhill after this? Like, I guess that's
if people are absolute bastards, it should be easier. And again, like there's not enough. But I think like the stuff you're talking about online about how it's people who haven't read the source material, who want it to be like the show, who want it to be like Game of Thrones and I presume House of the Dragon. I really should probably watch that because I literally have no idea what happens except the stills always look like everyone's wearing the same hair.
We don't need to watch it.
Do you think that's any less sex-filled? Because here's one thing for me. I really hope they had the interview and the little boy who plays Dexter, who plays Egg, he said that kids could watch it. So I'm hoping that means there's not going to be any really gross, like, I mean, I know the gore, but the gross sexual stuff. I
don't need a whole bunch of naked sex workers. I really don't.
I really hope that's not the case.
I would love a little less male gaze in my Song of Ice and Fire adaptations. That would be great for me personally.
Yeah. No, I'm excited. I mean, this is where I'm going to get burned and it's going to be shit. And I'll signed on to do the podcast. But like,
it's only 6 episodes.
But that's the other thing. It's not a lifelong commitment here. You know,
they got me hyped about it. Oh, there was also something kind of cool about. It was about the because I'm trying to look. I wrote a couple little notes here and there, but they switched composers. So they had been with Javadi, I think is how he pronounces his name.
Ramin Djawadi, who did the Game of Thrones.
Yep.
Did he do the music for House of the Dragon? I honestly don't know.
Yes, he did House of the Dragon as well. Okay. Yeah, he has been consistent composer, and they said that they decided sort of to switch because it was a little bit of a different vibe and a different feel.
Yeah.
So they went with Dan Romer, and his credits are kind of interesting. He did Beasts of the Southern Wild, which is the really good Oscar-nominated movie. I think back in 2012, and he did Pixar's Luca.
I love that movie. That was cute.
And he also this is kind of cool because I think this has been used in fandom. I forget if it was specific for Jamie Brown, but he did this song. He produced the song "Say Something" by Great Big World and Christina Aguilera. That was kind of interesting. So this is kind of cool that we have like a little, I really love like Giavatti's work, but like this is cool. It's kind of
funny.
cool
This
to
is
see.
great for me because I'm the rare Game of Thrones watcher who I was not a fan of Ramin Djawadi stuff.
Okay.
Never really struck a chord with me. So
Did it
great.
feel?
I'm
Do you
thrilled
think
that
it
they went
felt
another direction.
too intense? Do you think, or was it just too much?
I just felt like it didn't really match the tone. Honestly, that was how I always felt about his composition. Not that they necessarily were maybe bad. They were kind of mystified me as a choice for the content of A Song of Ice and Fire. To be honest with you,
that's cool. Like an interesting take. Yeah, that's cool.
I've always felt that way. I know people love it, and they would go and like that thing where they did like a concert series where he went like around the United States, like, and they would show an episode and he would have a live orchestra, and people were so excited about it, and I was just like, man, we're different people.
Well, I kind of feel like I also wonder too. Do you think? I mean, because you've been in the fandom for so long, maybe just because you've been with the content for so long, like. Well,
I probably had something in my mind. Yeah. I mean, I think something a little less polished would make more sense to me for the world of A Song of Ice and Fire, I guess is what I would maybe say about Ramin Djawadi's work. I'm not saying his work is bad. It just never fit to me. Never really made sense.
Yeah. Well, we'll get something new here.
I'm thrilled. I didn't even know that. That's great.
It's good. I mean, whatever happens, I mean, the fact that they're acknowledging that there's a tonal shift.
Right.
That's encouraging, right?
All good signs. All good signs.
I love how none of us want to get our hopes up. We're like, it might be a good sign. Is it a good sign?
I mean, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. And I also still like occasionally I'll go back and listen to our old episodes when we were so optimistic, and I'm like, oh yeah. So
yeah, we were burned. Oh gosh. Oh yeah, the other Chicky had shared this article that apparently they had at the Brazilian Comic-Con, which was just happened a few days ago, because they're starting to film this Tuesday, the second season.
For the second season, that's amazing.
Yeah, this Tuesday. And they were down at that Comic-Con, and I don't think there's a video of this one. I think there's a video of another like interview session, but apparently the article said that Nikolai Coster-Waldau sent him a video message, which was really cool.
Sent Peter Claffey? Yeah.
Yes, yeah.
That was very cool, like welcoming him to the universe or something. I was like, oh, that's nice of him to do.
Yeah, and he seemed super thrilled about it, so that's cool. And then what was it that he had mentioned? That's the other thing in the article was he mentioned that he's a big fan of Gwendolyn Christie's portrayal of Brienne, and that there's a lot of aspects to Dunk's character that she shares. That was a direct quote from him. So that is also making me hopeful too, because it's nice that people care about this, and the Jamie and Brienne connection hasn't been lost, that it's like happening there.
Yes.
Love it.
I am also happy that at least the connection has been made, and it's always nice when an actor takes the work that seriously. Not that you necessarily have to read, whatever work the thing that you're acting in is based on, but it's just nice that he kind of dug in and tried to find some grounding for how he was going to do the portrayal. I think that speaks well.
Yeah.
Yeah, they seem like they have good chemistry too, like good bond. And
in the trailers that we've seen, it seems like Dunk and Egg. It seems correct to me. I guess we'll see when we see a full episode, but it certainly seems like they're there.
The other thing that can happen, and I'll just mention this because it happens to me all the time, is I will fall in love with it. It'll be great, and it'll get canceled.
It's like, so we know that they're going to do the second season. Somebody was talking about it because Netflix bought, right? I don't know if it's finalized.
There's a big deal. I don't think
Warner, HBO, and
it hasn't been finalized. Okay. The guy who's, I think he's still there. At HBO Max has been kind of notorious for canceling things, like as tax write-offs and stuff. There were fully filmed films that they
took a lot of they did a lot of animations. I think they went after a lot of like
tons
alternative animations and tons
of
really creative people. Horrible.
But I don't want to bring too much gloom and doom. I'm just going to share that this would not be the first time Zaslav, David Zaslav, this guy I'm thinking of, where I have fallen in love with something and this happens. But right now, I'm hopeful. I'm hopeful it's going to be good and well received and not, stupid.
Because I think since it's shorter, it's easier to film. And also another thing that they mentioned was that there's some shows that are starting to get back, which I think is good, back on that film every year thing, not wait 3 or 4 years like Stranger Things. And they said that this was one of those shows that they're going to film every year and they want to get it done. Like, because it's cheaper, shorter episodes, they can do that. So I think that's another hopeful that maybe it won't get canceled because it's not that big of a.
Well, I mean, we're definitely getting 2 seasons, which would get us through 2 of the 3 novellas. So I mean, should be fairly.
That was another question I was thinking about, but I didn't write down. But it just popped in my head. Do you think? Are we getting more than 3? Or are they going to have 3 seasons? Do you think we're getting more? Or would that not be the case? Because
George pretty infamously has a couple of other Dunk and Egg novellas pretty well sketched out. He clearly is ready to go with them. Some of them even have titles.
So if this really is a big hit, we could.
Yes. So long and short, I think he does have material in mind that I would imagine could potentially be past a 3rd season if we get that far, I guess.
Yeah, I guess I don't know. Maybe I feel a little better towards him if we don't get winter.
I mean, I unlike Wins, it's not the end of my world, right? If we don't get more Dunk and Egg, I would like more Dunk and Egg, but I won't. I'm not going to be bitter about it if we don't. And I'm assuming it's like anything. Once they have a better sense of how well this is going to do, etc., they'll go with that. Maybe it's one of those things where, the Brits have done this before, where they just have a couple of seasons and then they're done. And, that's not the worst thing in the world.
Yeah, especially when you don't have any story or reason to continue on.
Yeah. There's some really good shows. Also, I will say K-dramas do that. They do a really good job. Yes. You could have a 1-season K-drama and it could be like memorable and you're not missing that you didn't get 7 seasons because they are a little longer, but it's like
I was gonna say, it could still have 50 episodes. So
yeah, they're a lot of them are averaging about 16 episodes now, but that's still way longer than a lot of American series, sadly. But
longer than what you get these days.
But I mean, there's precedent for this.
The length of the episodes, the length of the seasons, like everything about this kind of speaks well to that they're really more concerned about putting out a good quality content or, product rather than just some ongoing moneymaker for 10 seasons or something.
Do you know if they switch with the same? I'm assuming it's the same co-creator for the 2nd season. Do they ever, or do they kind of keep the same? Because I will say this, Ira Parker guy, he seems pretty down to earth, and I get a really good vibe to him as opposed to the D&D vibe.
Is he the showrunner?
He's the co-creator, I guess.
I would assume he must be the EP. I would assume he probably is intending to be the EP on season 2. I'm sure we'd hear if he wasn't still continuing with season 2 since they're about to start it.
Yeah, I'm assuming he's still. Let me see on the Wikipedia what it labels him as, but executive producer Ira Park. He's also under co-creator. Created by, he's before George, and then he's a writer on the show as well. So so it sounds like hopefully he seemed pretty solid from what I picked up.
My guess is if he's the showrunner, if it does well, they'll keep him. If it doesn't, I don't know. I'm looking at the list of executive producers, and I don't know.
Also, it looks like they have a little bit more women writers, and somebody was one of
that's
the
encouraging.
Non-binary, I believe, one of the writers.
Great.
Yes, that's good. Yeah.
That is encouraging.
Yeah. So
I mean, I feel like
lots of good things about it.
The signs are good. I feel like I'm in Vegas or I'm like betting on something, and I think it's a long shot, but.
Oh God!
The stakes are lower, right?
Yeah.
It's if it fails, it fails. If we don't like it, it's not the end. It's not quite as catastrophic, I guess, as it was, at least emotionally for me.
Right. That's why it felt easier to do these than to think about, let's watch the House of Dragon. I was like, I don't know, or to do episodes on them, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like this feels manageable for where we're at.
Yes, we should probably very quickly say, so in case you're unfamiliar with our podcast or you have just been listening to our book episodes of the last 5 years, we did live podcast Game of Thrones when it was on, and like most of the fandom, we're not thrilled with how Game of Thrones turned out. Some of us, me, was never thrilled with Game of Thrones from episode 1, but we felt pretty burned by it, and that was why there was never any discussion really of us ever podcasting about House of the Dragon. And so it is funny to us that we are actually considering doing another A Song of Ice and Fire HBO series because we were so unhappy with Game of Thrones. But yeah, I guess more fool us. We're back in.
Thank you. That's good to do that because I didn't think about that. We could potentially get listeners who just happen to come across us because of this. The Night of the Seven
I
Kingdoms,
expect that will happen.
Stuff,
so if you're new, hi,
hi.
Sit down, check out the furniture.
And okay, so I guess we can then finish up with the trailer, like go over the trailer and what we the most recent one. They just released it on December 4th, and this one incorporates a lot of the clips from the first one that was released, I think, about a month prior to that. This is about 2.5 minutes long. I don't know what the other one was, but seems similar length.
I think so.
Okay. So kind of everything's flashing very quickly, but it begins with a view of the Trial of the Seven. And we get this point of view then from Dunk's helm, which is kind of interesting. From inside the helm, you can see like the little slit and how his view is kind of broken up. And then we get Baelor Breakspear asking Dunk, how good a knight are you? That gets repeated several times, and we see bits of his interaction. I had to look this up, but the plumber is the steward of Ashford, the master of the games.
Oh, yeah. The guy who questions him about whether he's a knight, right? Yeah.
He's really good. And it's then followed by a little montage of Dunk and Egg training, caring for their horses. And this is like really one that stood out for me with this really beautifully shot scene on a rainy hillside of Dunk bearing Sir Arlen, and he has the 3 horses. I love that all 3 horses are in this scene and they're watching it. Like it's
I love it too. And I feel like they're kind of using the horses as characters, which fits because they kind of are characters in the novellas. So I kind of love the way that they're kind of using them in that way. And I love that they didn't cut it down to like one horse or something, which is something some productions might have done. I think it's great.
And that just jogged my memory that in that same interview at New York Comic Con, Ira Parker said that they actually kept in a lot of the conversations. He would have conversations with the horses. And he said some of them would go so far that he was responding for the horse. But he's like, we took those out. But he liked the conversations with the horses. So it becomes like you get more of a feel for Dunk with that. So that's cool that you mentioned that.
Good. Yeah, he's right about that. You do. It is a very big part of who Dunk is because, I mean, in many ways, once Sir Arlen dies, I mean, these horses are the only creatures left in the world that he loves and love him back. I mean, like, oh God.
Well, and a lot of the first novella certainly were in his head, when he's thinking about things. And if you don't want to do flashbacks, like conversations or whatever, that's probably a good way of establishing character.
Yeah, it's perfect.
Yeah. Okay. And so there's we get another clip of and this one's like it's like I guess they're women that hang. I don't know. I didn't want to like assume what they were, but this women.
I'm gonna assume those are sex workers, but they were fully clothed, and that's okay. As long as they're fully clothed, I don't care.
I wish of all the things they would change. I've never been a fan of how they dress people in King's Landing and those little.
Yeah,
I don't like it at all. So, but yeah, I mean, I guess it's the mildest version of that we could hope for. But
they weren't topless. Let's be happy, okay? or just fully nude, which is another thing,
Yes, and they're kind of like they're making fun and calling hedge knights or sadder version of knights, kind of thing. Little interaction. Sorry, and we get more flashes now of the Targaryens arriving and at the tourney itself. We get a nice little bit with Raymond Fosaway and warning Dunk about the Targaryens. Oh, and this is a weird thing. Okay, this is weird because I didn't think about it, but people were also bitching about the use of the word alien, but I did a search of Ice and Fire, and he uses the word alien about 10 times that if that's accurate, search
Why
engines
wouldn't you
coming
use
up.
the word alien? The word
People are
alien
like,
used to
people are like, it sounds too modern.
It didn't always mean space
it didn't
aliens.
always
It
mean
used to
outer
be
space. Yeah.
it meant like you were from another country.
Foreign. It
Yes.
just was another term for foreign.
That's why people are like, he didn't say that. That takes us out of the books. I was, what are what are people talking about? I don't know.
God.
It's like just Reddit. It's
But yeah, okay.
vast. It's Reddit. So yeah, no, he seems really cool. And the cutting. Okay, they cut to Arian, who I think it seems like they did casting with him. He's got the vibe. And here's something. This looks like Dunk in a very dark scene holding. Is it like a dummy mannequin from like a joust, like a training thing, or a statue's head and a helm?
I
I
thought
don't know
maybe
what
it
the
was
heck
one
that
of the
is.
puppets. I don't know what it is.
Oh, right. One of the destroyed puppets. Oh, right.
That would make
right.
more
yes,
sense.
Yes.
Like
Okay.
the
Yeah.
puppet
let's go with
dragon
that.
is really big. So I don't know. That's a guess.
Yes, that's perfect. No, that's right. You're right. Okay. That solves that. And then there's a front shot of Arian's fiery helm. And I think they do a good job of kind of mimicking what the enamel flames.
I thought the helm was good. I want to say I had seen some like controversy about Arian Brightflame having the short hair. And I was like, no, I think it's great. I think that's perfect. Like, it makes him look like more of a dick. It's
yeah. Oh god, also we don't have to see those horrible wigs. I didn't think about that either. I don't know if the wigs are going to be we'll have to comment once we watch the show if like the wigs are just as bad.
I thought the same thing, pal. I was like, oh, thank God they didn't bring in the one and only Targaryen wig. I'm so happy that the hair looks better.
I always just envisioned, like, when I would see the stills, because I'm not immune to like social media, and I'd see those stills from House of the Dragon, and I feel like that's the same wig. What are they doing? Like just yelling, cut, quick, put the wig on her. No, take it off and put it on him. I mean, so bad.
20 million an episode, but only $50 for wigs.
Yeah.
Oh gosh. Okay. And then after that, we see like a brief moment of, and I don't think we ever get her name in the novella, but Lord Ashford's daughter reacting to the tourney. And sometimes these things.
That is?
Okay. I think
so, because it was held for her 13th name day. So I'm assuming that's
the age looks appropriate. And honestly, when I looked at the cast list on IMDb, the only woman was the woman playing Tenzel. So I am all in favor of having women in whatever capacity, because these are very male stories. So
yeah, so I mean, and maybe she'll get a name, hopefully. So I don't know.
Maybe a line,
Yeah. And so there's more flashes of fighting, and we see that, and I think they use that in the first trailer as well, but the nice view of the side view of the puppet dragon breathing fire in Tanzel's show, the performance. I'm assuming that's where all the bad things go down, right before or after before it. But and then it sort of leads into where it ends up with Dunk shouting like that iconic request for champions, are there no true knights among you? And they're editing in a silent crowd, and they look like small folk, so I don't know if it's like, if they're editing different parts or if that's accurate, because wouldn't he be I don't know. But then he's kind of like, they have the rest of it kind of ends with the sort of awkward and humorous kind of egg interactions, which was cute. I mean, I thought it was a decent trailer.
Yeah, I think so too. I'm really happy with the Baylor casting. Seems really good.
Yes.
The first trailer really kind of highlighted the Laughing Storm. Was it Lionel Baratheon?
Yeah.
It looked great. I just feel like the casting is fabulous here. I'm very excited about it.
Yeah, it looked really cool. Overall, happy with it.
I hope. And please be good. Please.
Oh, do we have any mail?
We do. Okay, so we had Romy90 from the Jamie Brand subreddit said, do you have a casting wish for Rohan for the A Night of the
Oh.
Seven Kingdoms TV show? Or would you fan cast someone? Oh my god, so we gotta think of redheads. Is that...
Oh my gosh.
Someone who can act. I really am not that particular.
Someone who
How
can
about how old is the girl? Is she too little? From Stranger Things? Is she
the
too little?
redhead. She
Yeah. Oh my
probably...
gosh,
well,
I feel
they're
bad
all
I
in their
don't know her
20s
name.
now. They're in their 20s, so she's probably right in there.
Yeah.
I don't know her name, but yeah, she's a very good little actor.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I suppose they could dye anyone's hair. It could be
Yeah.
anybody. Good. You don't have
I mean, they did that with Sophie Turner for Sansa. I don't see why they couldn't do it with someone else.
Right. Yeah,
I
I'm trying
mean,
to think who else.
I guess my thing would be if they cast Dunk based on Brienne from Game of Thrones, then why don't you get somebody who can kind of embody a Jaime ancestor?
Right.
Somebody a little bit, I think Rohan should be
salty.
a little bit of a movie star quality, a little bit, a little bit snarky, a little bit sharp. That's what I would hope. I don't know if I have a specific idea though. Here's a question: Could I name an actress under 25? And that would really be a
right. Yeah, that's sort of where I'm coming from. Like, what? That's why I went to Stranger Things. Yeah, it's hard to. Yeah.
I'm looking at who did the casting for the show, and the one woman was casting director for Barbie.
Oh wait, wouldn't they have announced it already? Because this is the second one filming, or do they wait to announce?
Have they announced it? I haven't even looked.
I didn't. Who? The casting director?
Yeah,
I'm just looking at the casting.
No, we're talking about have they announced who Rohan will be? Because they announced
that I don't know. I'm just looking at the woman playing, or the women who did the casting. In the behind the scenes.
Yeah, no, I know. But we're wondering if maybe we should be Googling to see if they might have already cast Rohan.
I'm doing that too. This is also, if you're new, we live Google. It's fun.
We live Google because we do not pre-research anything, in case you hadn't noticed.
But you know what? From listening to a lot of podcasts, this is really common. Like a lot of people, a lot of times they have a separate person moderating who does all that. Like it would be that person, like silently looking things up, and not necessarily, or not moderating, but what I want to say, like I don't know what they call him, like a producer.
A producer who's in the corner.
Yeah, right. Because we listen to a lot of these comedians podcasts, and like everybody has one, and then they're just like, oh yeah, look this up for me, right? While they're so.
Okay. Well, I found a YouTube video, but I can't watch that and do this. So
I haven't seen it, but maybe they have. I don't know. I'm more interested in the vibe than anything for who they fan cast.
Right.
If they can act, that's fine. I'm good.
Sure. Sure.
You can dye anybody's hair.
A British or Irish actress is probably what I'm looking for.
And I don't need. In fact, it's probably better if they're not famous. To be honest.
You're right. You're probably.
I mean, right. I am all for the seasoned British character, or the UK character actors playing some of these parts, but it's fine if I don't know who they are, as long as they can act. So
somebody plays an unknown. Here's something I'm finding. Someone plays an unnamed character named Rowan. What is this from, though?
Okay,
Rowan
so I did find out the name of the actor from Stranger Things. Her name is Sadie Sink. So
okay, Sadie Sink.
I think we'd all be happy with Sadie Sink if we had.
Yeah, they're. Yeah, I don't know.
Sadie Sink, who was born in 2002. So.
I feel old now
because season named Rowan Robinson that has red hair, so I don't know who that is. Unknown character name.
I mean, it could be like, what did they do on God? They did. We saw the first actress who played Celise was not the actress who ended up playing Celise,
right? Because like a lot of these casting, because I'm seeing stuff back from 2024, so they could change so many times over.
I presume though that if they're filming, they've got someone. It maybe just hasn't leaked yet. So
yeah, they must have someone if they're filming.
They have
season,
to. So. Yeah, they might want it to be a big surprise, and.
But I don't. I mean, if I were to do like I can't even do like a fan cast of like someone who maybe, way over the age at this point, but I just need them to be a good actor.
He's aged up a little bit.
Under 45, let alone 25. So I'm too old.
Yeah, I mean, I wonder if they'll age her up, if they aged him up a little bit, or if they care.
I don't know. He didn't look too old.
Is he like, How old is he? Well, I don't know. I guess he's 3.
He's definitely in his 20s.
Peter.
But I mean, he doesn't. I'm not.
Yeah, he
looking
could
at
pass
him
for
as
younger. Yeah, he's
Yeah.
29. He's
Supposed to
29.
be like
So
17, is that right?
Okay.
On the Hedge Knight? Somewhere in there, 17, 18.
Yeah. So I feel like
Right.
he's, you know,
if he's
20.
playing 19, 20, and
Yeah.
she's whoever they get is in that general age range, that's fine.
Yeah. Whatever. Everybody in their 20s looks the same age to me now.
Yeah, I know. It's not until people get
Well,
30s.
What's wild is when you see actual people in their, like every so often you'll see something where they cast someone who is supposed to be the age they're supposed to be, or who is the age they're supposed to be, and you can tell there's a big difference between a 16-year-old and somebody who's 25 playing a 16-year-old.
Yes.
God, I was watching something recently and we were shocked because we were watching an old episode of The Next Generation, and it was an episode where Wesley meets the princess, and we thought she was a teenager, and she was like 20, I don't know, 29 or something. And we were shocked because he was 16. And once we thought about it, we were like, oh, you could tell he's really 16 or 15, and she's older. Sorry, but that just made me think of that tangent.
Yeah, I know the one you're talking about.
Oh gosh. Yeah, but it seems so far. I mean, I think they'll pick somebody good because it sounds like they're on top of things.
I have pretty decent faith. Casting's been great so far. No worries.
Okay. Any other final thoughts before we go into the?
Let's do it is my thought. I'm just ready.
Yeah.
I'm here. I'm so excited about this series. Can't wait.
Yeah, I'm hopeful. I'm very hopeful. Pleasantly surprised by what I've been reading. So yay. Okay, you can reach us at closethedoorand@gmail.com, on Tumblr at closethedoorandcomehere@tumblr.com. Submit questions, the chapter threads on the Jamie and Brand subreddit. Follow us on Blue Sky at Close the Door and Blue Sky Social. And please like, review, subscribe us on Apple Podcasts, Podbean, and wherever you listen. And please support us on Patreon at Close the Door. I'm closing the door. Get out.